But folks, we got to bring some of the conversations that are happening here at the event to you, and we're going to start by talking to Matt Helms. Matt is the Chief Commercial Officer at NewLeaf Symbiotics. And Matt, NewLeaf is maybe a new name for a lot of our listeners, a lot of the folks here in the crowd, but it's a company that's been around almost 10 years.
That's right, Mike. You know, NewLeaf was actually founded in 2013, a bunch of research by Dr. Mark Holland at the University of Maryland focusing on one unique class of microbe. And our co-founders actually came into that technology and purchased the work and some of the initial IP. And then we can talk a little bit about what we've been doing since then, but really focused on one very unique pink type of microbe that's doing some unique things out here in the marketplace starting the last year or so.
It is. And Matt, we had the chance to discuss here in the hallway at the Farm Futures Business Summit, and you were filling me in a little bit on M-Troph. This is the biological that you guys are really gung-ho on and excited about. Matt, bring us up to speed. What is it?
Yeah, you bet. So what the specific class is called pink pigmented facultative methylotrophs, PPFM. So it's a mouthful.
Yeah, tip of my tongue.
And we're not going to say all that. So we've shortened it to say M-Trophs. These microbes are literally pink. They have evolved all the way alongside single cell algae for millions of years. And so the question is, well, why M-Trophs? What's unique? And NewLeaf, again, we are singularly focused on this class of microbes. So really the Reader's Digest version would be these microbes actually grow off of methanol, which is a byproduct waste of cell growth and elongation. Well, why is that important? Most microbes are growing off of photosynthetic sugars that the plant or crop could be utilizing to grow biomass above or below ground, putting towards the grain, etc. So our microbes are growing symbiotically alongside, but not draining the plant with some of these resources. And it's a really unique advantage.
It is a unique advantage, and I think that's a great point, and especially in a year like this, when growers are really concerned about what the plant is required when we've got a tight environmental situation. Right now, it's a drought affecting most of these folks. So we've got these microbes out there, these pink microbes crawling around, doing what they do, growing off of the plant's growth. Why do we want these microbes growing on our plants? So why do we want that? Why do we want M-Trophs around, Matt?
Yeah, so absolutely. So what we're seeing is, first of all, M-Trophs are really good colonizers. They multiply. So, and we have a collection, all M-Trophs, you know, and they're 98% related, but that 2% difference, we can find M-Trophs that colonize the root rhizosphere on monocots really well.
What does that mean? I'm a history major. So, what is that?
Yeah, what that means, for example, is our product that we launched last year in corn, it'll actually colonize along the roots. And what it's doing is it's propelling those roots to grow more in mass. We actually measured them through the Danforth Center in St. Louis, where we're based out of, through their lab, and we saw 6.2% increased root area for the roots with our product. We're also seeing then increased key nutrient uptake. Nitrogen, manganese, and iron are three of the most that we're seeing statistical differences. You know, one thing about NewLeaf I'll share, you know, when we were chatting is we've been a little bit under the radar. We're a very science-driven organization. About 30% of our people are PhDs from best land-grant and other universities across the U.S. And I guess the motto I've said is we've kind of been measuring it twice to cut it once. And we're just now, I came to NewLeaf 2 years ago with a few of my team members to really bring the products to the market. But again, we can share a little bit now or at the booth or online through some of the Farm Progress mediums, the different ways we've been testing through third parties, small scale, but real scale, large fields to validate the products.
Well, and that's something I think we want to talk about while we got you here. We got listeners tuned in. As you mentioned, heavy research focus. You've got a lot of folks with a lot of brain power poring over these microbes. They brought you in. All right, now we got to take this research level stuff and a lot of really cool data, but we got to see if it works at the farm level. Matt, you did it last summer. How'd it work? Yeah. You're here. I'm guessing it was a success.
It was, Mike. You know, so what I tell people is NewLeaf was doing it all the right way. We had 35, 40 fields over 40 years, all third parties, universities, replicated. The data statistical, but these are small replicated trials. If I go to my friends, my family that are farmers, they want to say, what does this do in the real world? So that's what we did last year. We partnered with a group called Intent. They worked with farmers, about 20 to 25 soy farmers and 25 corn farmers, monitored, measured the fields. What we saw was what I mentioned earlier. On soy, we saw right at a 2-bushel yield increase, winning 75% of the time and having 9.6% greater root mass, okay, as measured through the dirt image lab at the Danforth Plant Science Center. On corn, for the product that's our seed over treatment, and we'll talk about a new application method here perhaps in a second, we saw about a 7.3 bushel advantage and about an 80% win rate. So these are really cool, okay? And again, we saw about 6.2% increased roots. Iron, manganese, and nitrogen are the 3 largest nutrients through tissue samples that we saw as well.
Build that root health, allow those roots to pull in the nutrients the crop needs and be successful. Matt, I see you've got a line at your booth. I don't want to keep you from these great folks. If you're interested, get on, check out the website. It is in the virtual trade show. Matt Helms, thanks for sitting here and talking with me, filling me in.
Thanks for having us. Please stop by our booth, NewLeaf Symbiotics, and we're going to have some really exciting things to share here in early August about a new planter box delivery method that can be more direct to the farm and working with our distribution partners as well. We're really excited about that.
Very, very cool stuff. Well, we better get you out to your booth,
right.
Matt. Thanks so much for stopping by.